Hello to you. This is Jessie Johnson. This is If It Ain't Truth, It Ain't Flat Earth. The law of proof. Only one point is needed to prove or disprove a thing. Gravity, number one, does not exist. The EFF, or Earth's field force, does. The EFF is caused by the tremendous mass of the Earth attracting other mass. Earth's EFF is a monopolarity. The EFF is 2.2 pounds per kilogram of pull-down acceleration force per that kilogram. Number four, this is weak, very weak, for the amount of mass needed, the mass of the Earth, as a matter of fact. Number five, high tides of the ocean exist on both sides of the Earth at the same time. The Earth cannot be globe-shaped. Number six, an attractive force between two or more things need an extra force to keep them apart. Number seven, two negative electrons will never attract, though they have mass. The moon rotates on its own axis. Number nine, Earth, moon, and sun should have been crashed into each other if gravity existed, because there's no force to keep them apart. Number 10, if Earth rotates, then everything should fly off. 2.2 pounds per kilogram of centripetal force against 105.6 pounds per kilogram of tension force. This is proof enough right there. When dealing, number 11, non-existent gravity weakens at the square of the distance apart of two or more objects. That means at approximately 8 to 10,000 miles away from the surface of a ball-shaped Earth, the force of gravity would be zero. Number 12, so therefore it sure as hell doesn't hold any moon in place or anything else. Number 12, you must counter 9.8 meters a second squared, 2.2 pounds per kilogram, to move upwards or fly, per the mass of the specific system, flying system or so forth. Number 13, gravity is not a theory or an assumption, but is fantasy. It does not exist altogether. Number 14, those who say Earth is ball-shaped have only to explain how the sun is only 1,650 miles distance, 51 miles in distance away from the Earth. Number 15, the sun's analemma shows the Earth to be flat, surfaced, and not ball-shaped or curved. Number 16, the odolite, which is a land surveying instrument system, proves the Earth is flat. There is no curve to large lakes and other large bodies of water, none whatsoever. Definition, perception. Number one, ability to become aware of something via the senses, a way of regarding, comprehending, understanding something through impressions and meaningful info. Interpreting sensory stimuli, the closer to actuality, the better. The process of getting, receiving, and collecting data and info, interpreting, selecting, organizing sensory info. Stimulation of the senses, organization of info, interpreting info, evaluating info, use of memory and recall of info, judge and assessment of surety of info, making a verdict on info. Number 6, perception is influenced by heredity, needs, peer groups, interests, expectations, bias, prejudice, stereotyping, perceiving actuality. We'll go to the definition of perspective. Number 1, to give a right impression of the distance, height, width, length, depth, position in relation to all other elements. A way to see things, observe elements, characters, events, contrasts, happenings, etc. Number 3, mental view prospect, a visible scene, an interrelationship of wholes and parts. Number 4, the capacity to view things in their true relations to each other or relative importance with each other. Appearance to the eyes of objects, processes, and things in respects to their relative distance and positions. Number 6, representing the correct, curved, linear, planar, volumetric, and spatial relations of objects. Number 7, representation in drawing, paintings, visual arts, using straight lines, mainly converging to give depth via vanishing points. 8, techniques of depicting points, lines, planes, volumes, and the like in relation on a surface. Hold on, please. This here hold on, please. I'll put it right back in. That'll be the best way to do this. Okay. That will be the best way to do this. Okay, this is the 12 present Earth models, simplified. Spinning ball Earth, non-spinning ball Earth. A spinning ball Earth is an impossibility because we'd all fly off. Non-spinning ball Earth, but you still have to explain how a sun only 1,651 miles is away from its surface. Concave Earth. This here was where they did experiments in deep mine shafts, vertical mine shafts, thousands of feet down, but yet the instruments, they diverged, they moved away, saying that the Earth was this shape instead of ball shaped. Multi-realms. This is a 15 to 20,000 year old model of this, whatever this universe really is. Let's see, the flat disk Earth, number 5 right here, flat disk Earth. A dome over a flat Earth, number 6. A multi-platform Earth. This model says that the Earth itself and all of our firmaments are one amongst several or more platform type systems. Minimum ellipsoid. This one here is used to save the ball-shaped Earth, from flat earthers' arguments and proofs. Maximum ellipsoid. This one here is used by the United Nations. It becomes flatter and flatter toward being a flat disk. Multi-flat Earth is surrounded by ice, nothing but ice, but you have flat Earths. Flat Earths are separated by several thousands of miles distances. Hollow Earth have a central sun in it inside of a shell, like a basketball is a shell. Let's see, pear flat shaped. Pear flat shaped is the information gotten from what is his name, Admiral Byrd, and taken from that and used to construct a map or model. Now, let's continue. The sun's analemma. The sun's analemma on a ball-shaped Earth, on a globe-shaped Earth. The Tropic of Cancer is here. The equator is in the middle. The Tropic of Capricorn is down here. And both parts of the analemma are the same size on a ball-shaped Earth. On a flat Earth, the bottom part is much larger than the top part. And the Tropic of Capricorn is here on a flat Earth. Equator is right here. The concentric circles, Tropic of Cancer is here. Central North Pole is right here. Now, which one of these is the actual correct analemma of the sun? This one, the flat one, the flat Earth one is the true analemma of the sun, showing that the Earth is flat. Now, let's continue. This here's the horizon, about the horizon. This is basic geometry. Now, you're 100 miles. See that small little piece right here? A vertical line right here? This is 100 miles above the Earth. This big, gigantic circle is the ball-shaped Earth representation. These two parallel lines right here, parallel lines, represents the flat Earth. You're 100 miles above the surface of a flat Earth or a ball-shaped Earth. These slanted lines, these slanted lines right here, slanted lines, these slanted lines, and right here is a straight line which crosses and connects both points of these slanted lines right here. This is the farthest you can see. If you're 100 miles above a ball-shaped Earth, this is the furthest you could see. The furthest you could see on the Earth is right at these points. Right at these points. Now, if you're 100 miles above the Earth's surface, whether you're on a flat Earth or a ball-shaped Earth, your horizon is 2,300 miles away from you. 2,300 miles. If in visible light, in infrared light, your horizon from being 100 miles above the surface is approximately 4,300 miles away. On a ball-shaped Earth, the horizon is here. You draw a line straight down this way. And you draw a line, a horizontal line across where they meet at the circle. At the circle. That means that at the horizon point, the elevation drop is 750 miles, elevation drop, ED, 750 miles. That means you cannot see the horizon, period, because all around it is nothing but empty space. There's no reflection, refraction, deflection, none of these things take place because there's empty space all around it. The atmosphere is only 15 miles thick, of 12 miles really, 12 to 15 is good enough, and 750 miles plus that. The most of the Earth you can see at 100 miles up on a ball-shaped Earth is right here at these 2 points. That right here, that's the most you can see. Right here, that straight line. That's the most you can see. You cannot see down here at all. And the horizon is not going to pop 750 miles, so you can see it at 90 degrees to the altitude line. Just the altitude line right here. This is 90 degrees to it. This top parallel line. But on a flat Earth, you will see the horizon, because it will be across your pupil 50-50, approximately 50-50. There's a reason for this. That's why I put below this video or links to go to, so all of this can be given to you so that you can understand. In other words, at 2,350 miles away, you will still see the horizon. At 4,300 miles away, you will still see the horizon on a flat Earth. But you will not see it on a ball-shaped Earth, because the ball-shaped Earth curves away from you down at every point. There's almost an infinite amount of points on a ball-shaped object such as the Earth, and at any single point, everything moves downward away from you. Now, let's continue. Basic geometry once again. This is the horizon. You are 73 miles altitude above the Earth's surface. This is the altitude line, this straight line right here. Here's the tangent line, and here's the chord line right here. The straight line is a chord line. This dotted line is a tangent line, and at the tangent is the furthest you can see at 73 miles above the Earth's surface. That's all the surface you would see of the Earth if it were ball-shaped. And if it were ball-shaped, and you are looking 90 degrees to the altitude line, 90 degrees to the altitude line, then at 73 miles above altitude, your elevation drop, your elevation drop is 500 miles below you. 500 miles. You would never see never, it's physically impossible to ever see the horizon at 500 miles below you. And coincidentally, from the top of the Earth to this line here is about 100 miles. It's about 100, actually it's less than 100. It's about, I don't know, probably about 80 miles. Nowhere near 100, 500. Besides, this is the limit of what you would see anyway, right here. But if you were 73 miles above the Earth, looking out 90 degrees to the altitude line, the horizon on a ball-shaped Earth would be 500 miles below you. It would be physically impossible to see it. Physically impossible to see the horizon. Look at this, please. Oh, this is first. This one's first. Okay, let's go with number one. Okay, this here is taken 20 miles, 98,000 to 110,000 feet above the Earth's surface. 20 miles. 20 miles is 105,600 feet above the Earth's surface. 20 miles. You can still see the horizon at 20 miles above its surface, of which the elevation drop, if it were looking straight at 90 degrees to the altitude line, and this is taken 90 degrees to the altitude line. How does one tell? That's easy, because this is 50-50, approximately 50-50, 50-50 seeing the Earth, 50-50 seeing the space. That's how you tell where the camera is pointed, straight out. And because the Earth is level, what do they call it? Flat. At 20 miles up, you would not be able to see this picture. You would not be able to see the horizon at 20 miles up above it. You would not be able to see that. It would be physically impossible to see the horizon at 20 miles up, because it would be turning down away from you. Once again, 73 miles altitude. This one here, this was taken with a GoPro camera, and it was taken with an amateur rocket. The highest amateur rocket ever flown was 73 miles to date. And this one here has a bowl-shaped a bowl shape. This one have a ball shape. This one have an almost flat shape. That's because they used a fisheye lens and a GoPro camera to distort the image of the Earth at that height. But they could not fool those who know that they took this almost 50-50. Almost 50-50. Look at it. Almost 50-50 down below the horizon, 50-50 above it, 50-50 above it, 50-50 below it, 50-50 above it. In other words, the camera was looking straight out, straight out, 90 degrees to the altitude line. At 90 degrees to the altitude line, at 73 miles above the Earth's surface, it would be a physical impossibility to ever see the horizon, ever. Hence, the Earth is flat. It's not an argument. You're just being told how things are. If you don't have the intelligence, fine, go somewhere else. This here is a map of the Earth. A map of the Earth. This large circle is the Earth. The smaller circle is the moon. Pink is red. Yellow is sun. These circles are magnetic lock tracks. The moon and the sun are inside of their own magnetically locked tracks, specific magnetically locked track. This is south, north, west, east. When the sun and the moon moves east to west and west to east, the sun and the moon also moves south to north and north to south. This is the top view, like you're looking down on top of it. This is the top view. This motion, back and forth, west to east, east to west, back and forth, south to north, north to south, creates all eclipses, equinoxes, solstices, time zones. Why? Because the sun keeps the same speed all day, all year long. Keeps the same speed, but not the same position. Now, let's go to centripetal force. This is the direction of travel when released. This is the Earth. The solid Earth is in white. The atmosphere is in yellow, and the oceans are in blue. This is outer space around the Earth, empty space, in the heliocentric religion model. This is the counterclockwise motion. In order for the solid Earth to hold itself together, it must have equal or more centripetal force than the tension force to pull it apart. The centripetal force of the solid Earth is 1,040 miles per hour. The tension force at the equator, because it's spinning, because it's supposedly spinning. It's not spinning, of course. The Earth is not spinning, but nonetheless, it's 10,040 miles per hour. Tension force. But gravity, so-called gravity, that is 22 miles per hour. So therefore, you have 22 miles per hour holding you down against a force of 1,040 miles per hour, which is 48 to 49 times the force of gravity. In other words, the Earth is not spinning. Of course, it's not spinning, because the oceans would come off. The oceans would come off. The atmosphere would come off. All the leaves and rocks and ourselves would come off, would fly off. Would just fly off, because this amount of force is 48 times this amount of force. A physical impossibility for the Earth to be spinning. A physical impossibility. Now let's continue. The Earth is spinning. Here's the Earth. Here's 2.2 pounds of force per kilogram. Centripetal force line is toward the center, moving at 32 feet a second. At 22 miles per hour. That's the so-called gravity. The tension force line is 106 pounds of force per kilogram at 1,521 feet a second, at 1,037 miles per hour. Now, the law of physics. This is a law of physics that you won't find in any physics book. The law of physics. Nothing, absolutely nothing, changes the nature of force. Nothing does that. Not professors, not students, not their fake math, not their pseudoscience of astronomy, not the Earth's mass nor the Earth's size, degrees and radians, angles, etc. Do not remove the fact of force by speed and momentum of rotation of 1,037 miles per hour of tension force against 22 miles per hour of centripetal centripetal force. Centripetal force and tension force are force unequal and opposite in direction along the same line. The tension force is 48 times the centripetal force of so-called gravity. D, all things unattached to the Earth's surface flies off. Leaves, oceans, lakes, ourselves, etc. because of 2.2 pounds of force per kilogram against 106 pounds of force per kilogram. E, 106 pounds of force per kilogram is 48 times the force of 2.2 pounds of force per kilogram, which is so-called gravity. Now, we'll go to F. Are you flying off the Earth? Of course you're not. Is the Earth rotating? No, of course it's not. It's physically impossible. This is 100% proof and 100% proven. No arguments are even given on this, as a matter of fact. Let's go to gravity. University level physics. This is a university level physics book. Number 1, non-classical physics. Beyond Newton's View, Randy Harris, 1998, page 472. This is force on this side. This is relative strength of these things. The strong force is unity, considered 1. Electromagnetic force is 1/100th of the strong force, which is 10 to the minus second power, and the weak force is 10 to the minus sixth power, or 1/1,000,000th of the strong force. Look at gravity. Look at gravity. 10 to the minus 39th power, 39 power. It is physically impossible, physically so, to comprehend this number. No human that has ever existed, that shall ever exist, and exists now, shall ever be able to comprehend this number, 10 to the minus 39th power. This number is so god-dog large, so infinitesimal, so infinitesimal that it's a physical impossibility to ever prove. They put this inside of a book to show you, just to show you, all the dim wits of the world, that gravity do not exist. Here's another physics book. University level physics. Number 2, physics. Second edition, 2004, copyright 2004, page 1078. James S. Walker. The force is over here, the relative strength. Once again, the strong force is unity, 1. Electromagnetic force is 1/100th, or 10 to the minus second power. Weak force is 10 to the minus sixth power, or 1/1,000,000th of the strong force. Look at gravity. Look at gravity. Gravity is, in this book, is considered 10 to the minus 43rd power, greater than even the other one. A physical god-dogging impossibility to ever prove, to ever know, to ever you can't even conceive of this number. No human brain can do that. You can conceive of 10, you can conceive of 43, but you cannot conceive of 10 to the minus 43rd power. No one can do that. Nothing can do that. Gravity does not exist. Here's another centripetal force problem. Sun to Earth. The sun is considered 93 million miles from Earth in the heliocentric religion universe. 93 million times 6.28, which is 2 pi radius, equals 584,040,000 miles revolving circumference of the Earth around the sun, divided by 365 days, equal 1,600,000 miles, divided by 24 hours equals 66,666.6 miles. 6 miles per hour divided by 60 minutes equal 1,111.1 miles a minute divided by 60 seconds equals 18.5 miles times 5280 feet, which is 1 mile, equals 97,768 feet a second. Now, the sun's gravitational pull is considered to be 274 meters a second in the first second, and 274 meters a second squared in all following seconds. 274 meters divided by 9.811 meters a second squared, which is the Earth gravitation, which is considered 1, equals 28 times. So the sun's so-called gravitational pull is 28 times that of the Earth. Now, 274 meters times 39.7 inches, which is a meter in inches, equals 10,878 inches, equals 12, divided by 12, equals 906.5 feet of centripetal force along the same line. Centripetal force is in this right direction. Tension force is in that direction. And you have 906.5 feet a second trying to hold back 97,768 feet a second, 107 times its force. Nothing but utter, the heliocentric model of a universe is nothing but utter nonsense. Let's go to trigonometry. Basic trigonometry. How high is the sun? How far distant is the sun away from the earth? Basic trigonometry. Angle of elevation. Number one, equator. The equator is considered 24,901 miles, whether you believe in a flat earth or ball earth. It doesn't matter. The equator is the same. 24,901 miles divided by 24 hours equals 1,037.54 miles per hour. Divided by 60 minutes equals 17.29 miles a minute times 5280 feet, which is 1 mile, equals 91,303.66 feet. Divided by 60 seconds equals 1,521.72 feet a second. We put the 1,521.72 feet a second down here at the bottom on our adjacent side. This is the hypotenuse side. This is the opposite side. The triangle has 3 edges, A, B, C. The sun is up here, the earth is down here. Now, it is 11:59 a.m., 59 seconds, 1 second before 12 noon. Number 3, the tangent is 89.99 degrees, which equals 57729.577893 times 1,521.72 feet, which is down here, equals 8,718,813.27 feet. Divided by 5,280 feet, which is 1 mile, equals 1,651.29 miles. The sun is 1,651.29 miles above the earth. A to B, that's A to B, is for 1,521.272 feet. A to C is 89. A to C is 89.99 degrees. B to C is 8,718,813.27 feet divided by 5,280 feet, which is 1 mile, equals 1,651.29 miles. That is how high the sun is. And if anybody wants to talk about a ball earth or spinning ball earth or even stationary or spinning, they have yet to explain how a sun can be 1,651 miles away from its surface. This is a picture of the sun. This is a picture of the sun. Look at the radii. Look at the radii. This means the sun is local. L-O-C-A-L, local. The sun is a local object. This is a picture you can get. There are millions of these pictures online and in books. You can get them anywhere. Now, let's go to light years. Light years. Basic equal distance magnification. This is a form of magnification that you are not taught at all in any school, in any university, anywhere. Why? As simple as this is. Why? Because the people that know this don't want you to know. Light years do not exist. Quasars, black holes, galaxies, big bangs, 15 billion light years, and all of this trash, all of this nonsense is built on one thing: light years. And light years don't exist. Let me give you an example of this. The sun, in the heliocentric model of a universe, the heliocentric religion model of a universe is 93 million miles from Earth, 865,000 miles in diameter. 1 billion miles divided by 93 million miles equals 10.75x magnification needed. 1,000 billions in 1 trillion. 1,000 times 10.75x equals 10,750x magnification needed. What the hell can you possibly see with your unaided naked eyes that requires 10,750x magnification? Every night you go out, almost every night you go outside and look up at the sky and see stars. The stars are approximately a few tens of thousands of miles away. Light years do not exist. 1 light year is equal not to 1 trillion miles, but to 6 trillion miles. You can't see anything away from this earth at 1 trillion. What to say of 6? Now, I would like everyone to listen to please share this video, subscribe. Please share this video, subscribe. Once you subscribe, I want to thank everyone for listening and watching. And have a fine, fine day. We will meet on the next video. Have a good day, please.